Hello, everyone. This here is none other than your Count Lazuli back again, once again, with 8livesstudios Phil. How you doing, Phil?
I am doing spectacular. I'm doing amazing. I had an amazing day, but regardless, I'm amazing.
Well, you certainly are, man. Almost as amazing as me, in fact. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, as the title says, we are discussing the second trailer for Metroid Dread, which Phil has generously sent to me a couple days ago. Okay, so what say we get into the what do they call it? Bread and butter? Sure.
Bread and butter.
Yeah. You know what? We're gonna start off this whole video with probably the most important focal point of this trailer. Chozo Vader right here. Oh boy.
It's
Oh
CHOZO
boy.
Vader.
So, wow. All right. Where to begin? So, back in Samus Returns, we got the Chozo memories. It showed it showed all the Chozo scientists that were mining on planet SR388, and they found the X parasite. In response, they created the Metroid. The Metroid was successful, but it mutated, and they lost control. In their escape, they apparently were helped by this group of militarized Chozo, but then all of a sudden the general pulls out his big arm cannon and guns them down. This guy has been a focal point of theories for quite a while now. Then we fast forward to the first trailer for Metroid Dread. And what do we get in there? We get a Chozo character. He's wearing gold and blue in his attire. Everyone and their mother, and me, assumed that this was the Chozo General from those Chozo memories back in Samus Returns. Then we got a teaser, and it shows that was in fact not the case, but that Chozo we saw was one of the surviving scientists, and I say surviving very loosely because we're not quite sure what he is, if he is a Chozo at all. So I just assumed at that point that we weren't going to get the Chozo General in this game, and that maybe he was being saved for future Metroid games. Here we are. And he is not at all what I thought he was going to look like, and I was pleasantly surprised. So, I cracked a joke last episode about how I need to change my fan art. Well, I don't just need to change my fan art, I need to change the whole goddamn color palette too. So, I've got some work on my hands. Alright, what do you think of this guy?
He's definitely menacing, that's for sure. Uh, we'll say though, the big arm cannon there. You sure he ain't trying to overcompensate for something?
Yeah, I was actually thinking of the exact same joke. Yeah,
Like,
I saw that and I was like, "Oh my god, how does he lift it? Look at his arms. He doesn't have leg day or arm day.
he doesn't lift, bro.
He doesn't lift. I mean, in a way you could say he lifts, but in a different way, and he doesn't fuck around from what we're going to see after.
Right.
One thing, you can't fully see it here, but one thing I actually really liked about his arm cannon were the pipes on the side. It just gave this very different vibe from the
Right.
traditional one.
Either that's how I'm guessing that's either how they the actual true Chozo weaponry is supposed to look like, or that's just his own little personal upgrade.
It makes me think of it like it's like a hyper-powered arm cannon or something, or because as we're going to see, this thing functions fairly differently from Samus's arm cannon. Samus has more of like a BB shooter compared to this thing. You know, it's like Like the Virgin Varia versus the Chad Chozo or something.
Virgin Varia versus the
Oh,
Chad Chozo. Oh
yeah.
my god.
We gotta make that one a thing, come to think of it.
Oh god.
Now here we've got a shot of our second Aeon ability. So the first one that was revealed was the Phantom Cloak, which was primarily going to, I guess, is primarily going to be used to avoid the Emmy. But now it looks like we've got a dash system. And this, I think, is actually going to be a really good addition for combat. I can definitely see intense boss attacks that you gotta quickly jump out of the way from using this thing. I'm not quite sure yet how it's going to use the Aeon energy. Maybe it's gonna take it out in chunks the more you dash. That's probably going to be it.
Could be how they now that's just a little, this is a big if, but could be they might use the same thing that Doom Eternal did, where it's just like they have like 2 dash points.
That, you know what, that could be it. Yeah, because what we know about the Aeon abilities so far is that they recharge over time, as we saw with the Phantom Cloak during the Treehouse live gameplay.
Right.
You know, so that's probably going to be it, you know. Also, take a look at the environment here, come to think of it. Definitely, I remember people were criticizing the gameplay footage early on for being too dull, and I'm starting to see some color with some of the new environments they're showing off. So I don't know if dull can... moody for sure, but I don't know if I'd say dull with all the environments.
You don't know, true Metroidvania style.
All right. So there were a couple of shots of the dash system in the trailer. I didn't put them all in just because we've got quite a bit to go through. So I thought this would sum it up just fine. Now, I was talking about how big that guy's arm cannon was earlier. And here's, I guess, one normal shot from it.
One normal shot is a freaking charge beam, jeez.
Yeah. He ends up destroying, like there's this big Chozo wall or church-looking thing on the other end of the room. And with, I think, one blast, he just ends up completely destroying the entrance.
Yeah, that's just straight up like, okay, you know this guy's gonna be overpowered.
In fact, if you look carefully, there's kind of like a rainbowy effect to the beam in the trailer, and it immediately made me think of the eye beam from Mother Brain and Super Metroid.
Oh, that is right.
So, I don't know if there's any kind of relation to that. Maybe if it's a nod to that game.
It wouldn't surprise me if there was, honestly. I mean, they've had a lot of things in other Metroids that refer to one other game or another.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, we are getting a form of Mother Brain back in this game with the central units.
Oh yeah.
Which kind of makes me think more of the Aurora units from Prime 3.
I honestly didn't think about that until you said something.
I don't know. I guess it's just like a universal thing if they have that kind of stuff.
Alright.
Now, this guy might skip out on leg day, but that's probably because he doesn't need to work his legs any further when he can jump this high. You know, I think this might be one of the first times where I don't imagine Samus handling the situation. Like, I don't care if you're Samus Aran. If you see this guy hurling himself into the air like that, coming right for you, no, you're not scaring him in the slightest.
Yeah.
No, Chad Chozo's coming for you. You're not stopping him. Man, even there you can see just a massive arm cannon he's got going.
Ew.
Alright, this next one. Because that's the thing, a lot of these... there's not going to be too much meat on most of these screenshots. A lot of it is abilities and effects and environments. But I think this next one, there's a lot to talk about. Oh, my man Kraid is back. Oh, I've got so many questions. So, it would have been really easy for them to just bring him back and be like, hey, it's Kraid. Alright, fight him. But they took it a step further and they made him imprisoned. Which, I like that they did that, because it suggests, something happened. And it gets you wondering if this is indeed Kraid and not just some other monster, but my gut says this is probably just Kraid. I'm left wondering, how would they have gotten him off Zebes and to ZDR? Unless, maybe, this Chozo General and his followers, maybe they went to Zebes during Super Metroid? Maybe they picked up Kraid after you fought him, captured him, brought him away. That's what I'm thinking so far. We know Ridley died on Zebes. Phantoon disappeared. Dragon, I guess, is dead as well. And we were left to assume Kraid's dead. And unless this is a clone or something, then maybe they did pick up Kraid.
Either that or... Well... I don't know, though, because... wasn't there because in one of the past trailers, wasn't there a mentioning of the X-Parasites?
That's also true. That's true. Could be like Kraid X. The only thing with that, though, is, I feel like if he's an X-Parasite, they probably have way more severe containment procedures, because like a collar and some cuffs is not going to hold an X-Parasite when it can morph out. Unless it's like some kind of electrical restraint device.
Possible.
I know quite a few people have been theorizing that this might be either a creature of the same species as Kraid or like Kraid X. I feel like this might just be the actual Kraid. I'm sure they could explain it in some way. I also love how, like, Samus just doesn't care that she's getting roared at in the face. She's just standing there with her charge beam.
Just getting ready to shoot.
Another thing that I noticed with Kraid here is the little horn on his nose. Which, it doesn't seem like that really matters. But I'm pretty sure that is a reference to the original Kraid design. Or, nope, I'm wrong. I just looked at it. Nope, Kraid does have a horn on his nose. So why did that make me think of the... that made me think of, like, the NES Kraid.
Oh.
Why? That's a weird... Wait a minute. Give me a second. Alright. Okay, so every form of Kraid had a horn on his nose. Man, this is like one of those Mandela effect things. You think you remember it one way, and it wasn't that way at all.
Right.
Okay. Okay. What do we got next? Oh yeah, just Samus going in the water, vibing. I thought this was kind of funny looking. I don't know why. Oh yeah, yeah. We've got this octopus-looking guy here. And by the way, nice. They got some nice color use here with like the glowing blue. But it is kind of leading up to one thing I'm worried about with the game, and it's the environmental variety. I just hope that ZDR doesn't end up being like a Zebus 2, where we have like the Brinstar, the Norfair, and the Meridia. You know, I hope we do get a little bit more...
Some originality for a new planet.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if they took some inspiration from like the past planets. I mean, because it does seem like, you know, some of this stuff on here would probably be inspired. Maybe some stuff inspired from Metroid Prime games.
Could be.
Because this enemy right here does remind me of the... I always call them the freaking fish jaws. But I can't remember that.
Oh, wait, I know what you're talking about.
Prime 2.
Prime 2. They are the...
Blog.
Blogs. And then you have the Alpha Blog. The one where Go on.
Yeah, it's just this one reminds me of like it could be like a variation of the blog or something, because yeah, it's something like this. I could see, because here's the thing: underwater levels in Metroid, I've always been fascinated with.
Yeah.
Especially once you get a gravity adapter for the suit and just straight up, you can easily traverse everything.
Speaking of gravity, I just realized Samus has to face this thing in her Varia suit.
Yeah.
Which, for those of you who don't know, that means she's going to be a lot slower.
Oh yeah, ain't that the truth? But never fear, because it is also confirmed. Hey, gravity suit's part of this.
Yes, yeah, we're gonna be seeing that pretty soon.
Go ahead.
Go on.
I did get a glimpse of it, and here's the thing. I believe they're just taking like how the design from other not that abomination. From Samus Returns.
Yeah.
The DS edition, and honestly, I liked how they're now using like, okay, we're not just gonna color code, you know, the suit anymore. We're gonna actually change the light patterns on it, the actual design, and I think how they're going with the gravity suit, I think it looks really cool.
I agree.
I mean, they're keeping it the same colors, like purple and a little bit of cyan, but yeah, overall, it still looks pretty nice.
Now, you know, as I mentioned, my concern about the environmental variety, we look at this next spot, and it's nice, but it just looks like Brinstar to me, like Brinstar / Talon Overworld / Biosphere. You know, it has that same vibe. I like it. I just hope it's going to be a little more different.
Yeah, I guess they wanted to like keeping the classic originality of like, once you're on this planet, you know there's different areas. Forest, underwater, ice, fire.
I swear to God, if they have an ice zone, I'm gonna be like, okay, guys, too far.
Yeah, it's just I always liked how they did like anything elemental when it came to Prime and some of the others.
So that was one thing, is I hope they don't do what Prime 1 did, where it's they give you all the default environments, you know, just to be familiar to new players. I hope they do have some unique environments, some interesting areas. Like, to me, the Emmy zones are a unique environment, because yes, they are like a tech-based environment, but they've got their own kind of cold, isolated feel to it, like nothing you've really seen before in Metroid, in
Right.
their own way. So I would consider that like a new environment. Um, yeah, I'm just hoping that they're not doing like a recreation of Zebes to be new or to introduce new players. I wish Metroid games would go a little more in the direction of Prime 3 with their worlds. Because the planets that really stick out to me are places like Brio or Elysia. Um, they're just like nothing you've ever seen before.
I get what you're saying. Let's see. There was one thing. I think this is one thing they need to do more often. Like a highly technological kind of plane.
Yeah.
How? Let's see. I got the name of it in the in my song list, but it is.
Are you thinking Sanctuary Fortress? Because
Yeah.
I am. Yeah, that's one of my
Like
favorite.
Sanctuary Fortress and the Pirate Homeworld in 3.
Yeah, yeah, those two places. God, I loved Sanctuary Fortress. I gotta get back to playing Prime 2, actually. I started a new save on that, and I stopped at, I think it was the Bomb Guardian.
God, that one gets on my nerves.
The Bomb Guardian?
If it's the pill bug, yes.
No, not that one. Not that one.
Okay.
That is a hell of its own. I'm talking about one of the early bosses. It's the sand diggers. They got the two heads.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Like one of the heads turns into like a bomb dropping thing.
Yeah.
So one of the easier bosses. I think. I came across like one of the space pirate bases. I digress though. What we got next here is okay. All right. I was just ripping on Metroid Dread for having super familiar environments. But then we get to their Chozo ruins, and it's a complete breath of fresh air.
Oh, yeah.
This looks like something out of like a sci-fi medieval, which I would have never expected to see in a Metroid game.
Yeah. I guess it's like the first time they're actually putting in Chozo architecture that's fresh
Intact.
and new, not intact. That it hasn't been like abandoned for a long time.
Yeah, because like most of the time they're either just like rusty and industrial or like old stone Egyptian ruins type of environment. But this is the first time we're seeing. This is actually something I've wanted to see for a long time in Metroid. I want to see a more regal side of the Chozo. And it looks like we're finally getting it. Especially when you look at the recharge stations for energy tanks and missiles. All the Chozo statues are this gothic chrome instead of like the brilliant gold that we're used to. And there is some gold architecture in this, but it's not as intense as it was in Samus Returns.
It's more like a faded style.
Also, just to point out here, Samus is using some ice missiles, so it looks like they're bringing that back from Prime 3, which I think is interesting because it makes me think about how this combat's gonna go. Usually we just have an ice beam, but they're going the Prime 3 route.
No, they had them in different ones too.
Did they? Did they have ice
Fusion.
missiles? Fusion. Okay, I'll be honest. I didn't play Fusion yet. I probably should.
Let me give you one heads up. There's a boss where you have to get back the screw attack. Just for the love of God, just look at a walkthrough first because it's aggravating.
I saw they're bringing the screw attack into this game too.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I always liked the screw attack. Think of
Oh man.
I'm
Yeah,
trying.
I'm glad that it's not a wall jumping mechanic now.
Yeah. All right. This next ability is perplexing to me. We're getting a cross bomb. Like that's interesting. So 4 direction morph ball bombs. And
Uh,
it seems very situationally based to me, but it could be very useful if you're creative with it.
uh,
Like, technically, you could. I don't know if we're getting the power bomb in this game, but unless we are, then you could use this bomb as almost like a ranged ability.
that'd be possible. They might start out with the power bomb and then have it upgraded to something else, like what they would usually do for classic Metroid.
Wait, there are upgrades for the power bomb? Like
No, I mean
ability?
like like when you okay, so you know how like when you get a beam and then when you get a different beam, it permanently changes to that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I was going to say, how could you possibly upgrade the power bomb even further?
I mean, that would be cool. I mean,
That'd be scary.
optional upgrades for Metroid.
The nuke bomb.
Uh,
Oh boy. Actually, I wouldn't mind that. A bunch of optional upgrades that you find across the world.
right.
It looks like we're back in this tech area here, from what it looks like, but just a standard. Actually, there's a lot of that so far in Metroid Dread. A lot of these industrial clean environments. Makes me think a little bit of Other M, but not too much.
Yeah, it's the little.
Alright, we're back with this guy here. We get another look at his really...
Halo shields.
Yeah, he's got shields. Samus is shooting. That looks... The only beam that's familiar to me is either Plasma Beam or Nova Beam. But I'm not sure what kind of beam that is. Either way, it's not working on him. And he's got his big compensating gun there with him.
Very compensating.
Very compensating. And okay, this next one's interesting. So, we're getting the Grapple Beam. I don't think that's really a shock to anyone. I think everyone expected a Grapple Beam to return. But I really like that you can use them on these pads. The what do they call them? Spider magnet, spider wall, something like that. I think it was spider magnet. And originally we were just seeing that you could climb these, and it just kind of seemed like just a substitute for the spider ball. But I think it's cool that you can actually use these for the grapple beam as well now. I think that actually really adds a level of creativity, and it shows that you're going to be able to more easily traverse the environment once you get the grapple beam.
Right. I guess it's definitely a teaser there'd be a spider ball though.
Yeah, I mean we could get a spider ball. I'm not sure if they're going to add it, to be honest, just with the fact that we can climb these types of walls though. Maybe. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, most likely.
Then this I can't explain. I think these might be like security units. This makes me think
Amy's
of
little brothers.
mini Emmys.
They reproduce.
They reproduce. They're spreading. Oh god, you know what these remind me of?
What's that?
You remember in the CHOZO ruins in Metroid Prime 1, where you're traveling through a tunnel and there's like a swarm of beetles that fall from the ceiling?
Oh god.
It makes me think of these, but like on a massive scale. Either that, or it makes me think of the crawl tanks from Prime 3.
Oh, jeez.
But what I really think it is they're either turrets or they're like eye cameras, like what Mother Brain had. That's what I'm thinking.
So if they're eye cameras, then they'll come with eye lasers.
Also, I just love the shadows on Samus right here. I just think that looks so nice.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like this is going to be one of those scenes where they're all about to shoot at once and Samus has to like duck and cover. There was a Pixar movie that had something like that, where there was like 100 lasers pointing at a character. They just got like smoked.
Right.
It was either Toy Story or The Incredibles where this kind of scene happened. I can't remember what it was though. Just like an oh shit moment. There's like 40 turrets on me. I don't know.
Oh,
what do you think? I think this, personally, I think the Chozo General might be watching Samus through these, or maybe he set these up.
A little bit of both on my thing.
A little bit of both?
A little bit of both.
Okay. This looks fun.
Oh, they're bringing those back.
They're bringing it back. They're calling it the Storm Missile this time, which I really like the name for it.
Okay.
And, actually, we get another shot of the new Chozo ruins. And, again, it's very different, very regal. It's like dark walls, but they've got.
If you notice
these...
at the top of it, there's like some architecture right there.
Yes, I see. Yeah, but I really like they got like this bronze trimming everywhere.
Right.
You know what it reminds me of? Excuse me. This reminds me of the Chancellor's office in Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, shit.
You see it? You see it
now?
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned it.
Master Windu, how may I help? Yeah, have fun on seeing it now. Oh, here we go again. Oh god, I love this shot. I mean, never mind the fact that Samus can obliterate enemies with these missiles now. But just look at the background, man. I'm loving like the flowing drapes, just like this lost kingdom. It represents a level of might that you just haven't seen with the Chozo, because the Chozo were portrayed very much like monks or pacifists. But now that we're getting in the area of Chozo warriors, we're seeing a bit of a new take on the Chozo, one that I've been waiting to see for a long time. So Metroid Dread is definitely feeding me that little benefit there.
Oh.
What do you think? You have any thoughts on this?
It's definitely nice to see the architecture of it, because this definitely looks like it's part of a big facility.
Yeah. Now, due to all the light, and you look at the amount of power-ups she has going here, like you can see all the energy tanks and all that, I'm thinking this is maybe a later game. Especially since you start from the core of the planet and you rise to the surface throughout. So I'm thinking, you know, well, that has to be the sun unless it's just a giant lamp somewhere. But, yeah, I think this may be a later game. Like an upper surface Chozo stronghold. This still looks like the Jedi Temple to me.
Before the Sith took over.
Yeah, I can just see a bunch of Jedi walking around here from like the prequels. Alright. There's a scar on his mask now, and that is caused from a super missile. So he's not invincible, but he's definitely tough.
I just want to bet he's got like 4 to 5 phases.
Oh, I'm sure. Like, I feel like it's safe to assume that either this guy's gonna be the final boss, and he's like his mask is gonna get torn off or something like that, or he's gonna like summon some big mutant monster, or he is the mutant monster because maybe he's an ex-parasite. Who knows? I've seen that theory going around that like, you know, Samus is the last of the Metroids and this guy's like the last of the X, making this final duel for the Metroid saga.
Could be possible. Could be
Also,
possible.
also, do you remember in the first video that we did, I had this theory that the final boss fight was going to be like this ritualistic duel with a Chozo warrior? Well, I'm a little more confident in my theory now with this guy in here. I can definitely see a hectic boss fight to end the game with this guy. And I think this guy is probably like the coolest, because like this, honestly, this guy's just so cool. I think he's a fitting villain for the end of the Metroid saga, if he is the main villain, which, based on the promotional material we've got now, I think he probably is. I think the Emmy are the selling point, but I think this guy's the head honcho.
What I'm thinking, the guy will be a final boss, but he'll probably be like, I don't know if they'll do this, but what if he's probably like second to last before the actual final boss?
Oh, so it's like there's the real final boss, and he's what you thought would be the final boss.
Right.
Either that, or they could, I can see them definitely pulling like a Dark Samus with him, where she shows up, like, throughout the game. And you have, like, multiple boss fights, but each one's tougher. I can see that happening.
Yeah, this aura is definitely questionable.
Yeah, I don't know what the red glow is about. Also, this guy's huge. Like, oh my god. I didn't know. Okay, so when I first heard about the Chozo in Metroid, for some reason I automatically assumed that they were giant compared to Samus. I don't know why. I just assumed they were. But then I saw their appearance in the manga, and then I was like, oh, okay, so they're normal height, they're normal size. And then this game comes around, it's like, nope, tall boy. Nope, this guy is gonna go all Lady Dimitrescu on Samus.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep. Yeah, also, the way this guy picked up Samus, he used some kind of dash, so maybe that's one of the abilities you end up getting. God, I can't get over the look of this guy. He is so cool. Oh yeah. We're getting some Chozo enemies, although according to the Dread Report Volume 6, this here is a robot. So almost like a more martial arts Torizo, I'm thinking. Either way, he looks a ton of fun to fight.
Oh, yeah.
And we're getting more of this sort of medieval Chozo appearance here. This looks like a council chamber of sorts, but it's definitely seen better days. You think this is, I think this might be near the, no, you know what, this doesn't look near the surface. I think this might be a bit deeper in. Then we get the Shine Spark. We know that we're getting the Speed Booster, so we get the Shine Spark as well. So that's nice to have, which means there's going to be some very long corridors too. This, okay, look, this has to be very near endgame, because this is absolutely outside. We see some ships over there, so we know that there might be like a numerous Chozo presence here. I'm not sure. We see that she's got the gravity suit. She's got a whole bunch of energy tanks, 199 missiles, and I think those are power bombs. I don't know. Not quite sure. But yeah, I think this is going to be endgame. This is going to be you trying to get back to your ship, maybe.
Most likely.
Most likely. Okay. I don't know what these guys are, but I think they're CHOZO. They're giving me a bit of a Metroid Prime 1 space pirate vibe with the way they've had these sort of hunched shoulders and the arm blade. Plus, their legs are pegs. They walk on pegs if you look carefully. So maybe, but I'm getting the feeling that these are CHOZO, especially with that arm cannon. So maybe these are heavily modified CHOZO in some way, because we know we're getting involved with the whole CHOZO warrior element here. What do you think?
Definitely, definitely interesting anime, I will say.
So I want to say these are CHOZO, but I'm not entirely sure.
Here's the thing, though. Can we point our attention to the big skull that's in the top window in the background?
The big skull?
Look at the top window. You'll see a face. Looks like a skeleton head.
The top window, left or right?
On the left. It's like it would look like it'd be in the center room, right behind where the top guy is. Like, look right next to him.
Oh, I'm not seeing it.
I can see there's something in there. It's either that or it's just the freaking light rays throwing me off a bit. But it looks like there's something in there.
Yeah, I can't tell.
It's like the top one that Samus is shooting at. Look a little bit to the left where the glass is the background. You see that there's a darker shade.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right next to him.
Yeah. Oh, I see the skull you're talking about.
Yeah. Something in there.
Yeah, I see it. Ah, oh, that's great. Okay, now we get a good look at this gravity suit.
Yes. And this is the first time they're doing this little design here, where it's not just going through the chest, it's actually going down into, like, the midsection.
Yes. So that's what I noticed. So the base armor, it just has those two little lights at the chest. But then with the various suit, there are these long streaks, and then with the gravity suit, they go all the way down the torso. So I like that, they're not just changing the color, they're adding a signature to the way the light piping is on her suit now. Plus, if you look very carefully, she is actually gaining armor with each suit. So people were some people, not everyone, some people were complaining about the fact that her base transition suit for Metroid Dread, it just looked very
it just looked like base armor.
Yeah, very base and bland. But then you look at her various suit for this game, she's got a lower leg armor, reinforced armor in her upper half, and extra armor on her arm. Then you look here, she has actual thigh armor. Like there's, so it's almost adding to that element of because you know how her suit is going from fusion back to power suit, so it's losing the organic components over time. It makes me think of that. So maybe that's what this is. Maybe with each suit, you're regaining your armor.
Could be.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what the final suit would look like.
Actually, that is another thing. I hope it doesn't end with the gravity suit. I'd like to have another sort of like phase-on suit type of thing.
Right.
I think that would just be really cool. I don't want them to keep making games where it's just power via gravity. I want to see more of the. But then again, technically, her set of suits here is the new suit.
Yeah.
Still, I'd like to see a new color palette by the end of the game. It's not necessary, but it'd be a nice little icing on the cake.
I will say though, I think this is the first time I've seen the gravity suit with the green lights instead of the blue. Or cyan.
Gravities. Oh, you're right. You're right. I just realized that. Yeah, because the gravity suit, it had like the blue lighting, not the green. So I wonder why they're sticking with the green on this one. Actually, honestly, I think I would have preferred them to have the blue here, but it's not a big deal. I guess it does kind of change it to an extent. So one person, I can't remember if it was Orpheon or someone else, but one YouTuber pointed out that the tank in the middle almost looks like Kraid's head. Now, I don't think that's Kraid's head. That kind of looks like a creature upside down to me, personally. But hey,
yeah, that's not Kraid's head.
It does look a bit like it, but I'm not sure. Maybe. But that does say something. There's experiments going on CDR. So the CHOZO are doing something here. They're messing with something, and I don't know what it is.
It's definitely a big mystery that needs to be solved.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of like weird bioforms they're screwing around with, what the hell is this thing? I mean, it looks like a Chorizo or another one of those robot shows with the spear, but look at its
maybe
head.
It's one. Yeah, it looks like maybe it's one infected by the X parasite.
Maybe, like it's this black goo inside the armor.
Yeah,
and then the head is like this split monstrous. I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it could be a X-infected CHOZO.
Oh, just seeing that way is actually disturbing to me. But I have no idea. I have no clue. Okay, we're reaching the end here. So this I thought was kind of interesting. Samus kind of reaching out, like trying to get him to stop before it's too late. Which, it's interesting because when I saw this, I was like, wait a minute. I don't see Samus, doing this. But then I remember this is a CHOZO. These were supposed to be, her buddies. So why all of a sudden is there this super aggressive CHOZO about to smoke her head off with that giant arm cannon? So I imagine...
Well, it definitely shows that she has sympathy.
Yeah, I feel like Samus would probably just be like super confused here. Either that, or she thinks she's gonna block the shot with her hand. Or it's just way too bright.
Considering the crazy stuff she's done in the past, I mean, at this point, I wouldn't hold that to be non-optional.
But yeah, I just thought that was just an interesting gesture from Samus. And of course, I guess because she's getting suffocated, she is losing consciousness. And then, boom! It happens again. Same thing that happened from the teaser we looked at, where Samus's eyes open up and some kind of power overtakes her. So they're definitely putting an emphasis on whatever the heck's going on with Samus here. Have any theories?
Could be a new... well, it could be a new kind of hyper mode for her. Like, I understand that there was like a thing that she was going with when it came to like the Prime series, but let's see, she's got Metroid DNA in her. So maybe it could have like there was something that could have finally mutated and gave her own kind of power. That, or maybe it's revealed in the game, something happens, and she's been granted this power through like whatever event she goes through in the game.
Okay. Alright, so like a new hidden power. That's one of
Could
my
be.
theories. Now, I do want to note, I don't know if you knew this, did you read Dread Report 6?
I believe I have.
Okay, so if you did, then you know that Big Bad Bird here is the reason Samus loses her power-ups. She goes on CDR
Right.
and then gets attacked by this guy, and he takes all her power-ups, and she wakes up in her base suit.
Okay, so that does happen at the beginning of the game.
So he didn't kill her, whether by choice or maybe something stopped him. Some people theorize that whatever was happening to Samus here is what prevented the CHOZO from killing her. Some people thought maybe this was the SAX inside her waking up as like a defense mechanism.
Or maybe that baby Metroid was a little more special than everyone thought it was.
Maybe.
I mean, because
Maybe.
here's the thing grew into incredible size, but yet it still like kept its original form.
Yes, that's true.
Actually, because I do remember, no, because I was thinking to myself, it did absorb like Mother Brain's power and then give it back to Samus.
Yeah, actually, you know what?
Something like
I never understood that. Was that hyper beam that Samus absorbed from the baby Metroid, was that temporary?
I think it was just
Okay.
because it was, it could have been.
So like it basically stopped once she destroyed Mother Brain, but then it also makes me think like, what if she ran out like just before being able to kill Mother Brain? Oops. Sacrifice was for nothing. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Samus here. Maybe this is what happens when she gets a bunch of power-ups removed violently.
Yeah, because I think that could be. But here's the thing: we've also seen in other shots of that same aura popping up, even in the blue suit. So
Yes. I think. Did we?
I think we did. There was one, if I remember correctly. I'd probably have to look again, but
I don't remember.
it was. I think it was in one teaser they showed. Maybe it was in the first trailer. I can't remember if it was in the base fusion suit or if it was in the suit here.
Okay. I thought it was this suit. I thought it was the Various suit.
I might be wrong. It might be the Varia suit, but at the same time, who knows? It's still an odd power that is just now coming up.
All right. Okay. That it looks like we've gone to the end of it. You know, I actually didn't have as much to say as I thought I would this time around. I think this trailer, it showed off a lot more in terms of power-ups and gameplay. You know, the last video we did, that was focused around the story elements and left a bunch of room for theorizing. But I don't think there's too much to work with here outside of the power-ups and the gameplay.
Well, relatively, when it's just about like the game mechanics and the gameplay itself. There's not really that much. It's going to be relatively a lot less than story.
Yeah.
But aside from that, though,
It's
still very interesting.
This is definitely a meaty trailer for sure, and if people weren't excited for Metroid Dread before, they are now with this
Oh
one.
yeah.
I remember.
And hey, for all the Prime fans, this will be a good appetizer.
It will be.
Yes.
I don't even think of this as an appetizer, to be honest. I was expecting this.
Oh, me neither. I'm gonna be in love with this the same way I will be with Prime 4.
I just realized I didn't put the poster in here. The new poster they have, which is a shame. It's so gorgeous. The one with Samus and the evil Chozo behind her.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. I was gonna say something else, but I don't remember what that was.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. Alright, well, what say we cut this short?
Alrighty.
Alright. Okay, guys, thank you for joining us. This was another episode of Phil and Lazuli taking a look at the Metroid Dread video content that they're putting in their marketing. And that was that. And we are out.